navigating through the exam schedule, and we're very fortunate to have a game again tomorrow. We have the rest Wednesday, and a couple of good days of prep can go a long way. We choose usually the day after a game, after a day off, to just make ourselves better and not worry about the opponent. We play Youngstown State Penguins, who play very much, they're in the same league as Northern Kentucky, play a lot like them, only with two bigs, two veteran bigs. Got a shooter on the perimeter that is an elite shooter, and with a jump shot you're all going to admire, because he goes about this far off the ground and shoots it at the top of his jump, and we're going to have to be into him, because we see a lot of zone defense we anticipate. Hopefully we are prepared for that. So it is 2 games left in the non-conference schedule, and trying to do everything we can to improve every day.
Any after effect with Derek playing all the minutes? How's he feeling?
No, I think he's had pretty good rehab here through it all. I think that I don't think he's at 100%. And the fluke, he had an exam yesterday. We couldn't avoid his exam yesterday, so he had a very light workout yesterday, which is probably good.
And DJ?
DJ actually practiced yesterday, and we'll see how he feels today. He practiced part-time yesterday, nothing full court, only some half court, but I think he's trending in the right direction.
Brendan?
Just to clarify on Spike, will he retain his scholarship in always in the second semester?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's on scholarship, and he's actually got still has another year of eligibility. So, because he won't be past his 30%. So that's out there somewhere. But I don't think he plans on that, but that is the truth. He is no different than what Naslong did at Iowa State. So that's going to be up to Spike 100%.
And that's just, that conversation hasn't been had yet?
No, but it would have been, in the light of, as I said, a miracle recovery. If something happens, that why have him go through and play past that 30%, right? So that he end up, now losing out and becoming a good player, be able to play next year at the level he was accustomed to.
So you'd burn that if you took him in for a senior day or something? Right? That would
That would be a big discussion. That's right. We would burn it if we threw him in on senior day, which is another possibility. That would be a big decision by him.
And another kind of question, and kind of along that vein, so you still have one open scholarship. With mid-year transfers becoming more and more of a thing, is that something that you look at, or even, obviously you're still over one for next year, but is that something you even look at and consider?
I think, given it would have to be a special situation, given that we're one over, I think we have to be very careful with that.
Back over to Chris.
Speaking of scholarships, I'm sure you saw Xavier Simpson went off for 59 points, and you talk about him and just the other guys and their progress that you've seen in the early goal.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go see, no, I'm not going to see, but another assistant's going to go see John Teskey. We went to see Austin the other day. Watching video on Ibby has been very impressive, and talk with Xavier after the game. So he reminds us of another guy we got from Ohio many times. It's tough to compare those two, but there's a lot of similar type of traits that a guy that can score, from deep. He had 5 threes in that game, and I think it was 5. The knock going into him last summer was he couldn't shoot. And he's become a really good shooter, but his in-between game and his assist numbers and his defense are outstanding.
And work ethic, it seems to me that he gets to the gym at 5
he's very much like number 3 in as far as he is driven to be the best point guard he can possibly be, and he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and that's really healthy.
Coach, in terms of Spike, when we talked with him and with you last week, people kept mentioning that a 2-year timetable maybe for him to be at 100%. Has something changed for a potential
this type of hip surgery is very much out there right now. What is it? Is it different for everybody? Is it how much damage was done before the surgery? Oh, there's a lot of variables in this thing that's way beyond me. I know that I don't think any of the specialists they've seen can give him a concrete answer. But there's all kinds of possibilities out there. But I think it may be different for a Max Bielefeld who's in the post. He's not going out on the perimeter and having to slide step or run a team and stop and start as much. It's a very different mechanic. So just like it would be for different sports.
Brendan, you got anything else?
I'm good.
No, On Austin Davis, you had challenged him, I think, to lose some weight. And how much better is he playing now that he's lost that weight when you've seen him play? Talk about his hands a little bit as a big man.
Well, you know, if you know Austin is probably 50 pounds lighter, or maybe even more than he was at one time. I mean, he was a big 280 at one time, and scoring 50 points in a game as a sophomore. So now that he is probably in the 230s, somewhere in there, his first reaction, I believe, was that he was, I can't get there because I'm too slow. And now that he's much faster and can jump much higher, he's learning that I can get there. And so that whole mindset of how fast I can run the court, I'm really looking forward. I think Bakari saw a few of those last night when he went to see him play, saw what we call the 4-second run, which has never been a 4-second run for him.
And then his hands, can you just talk about?
Yeah, he's got great hands. That's one guy that catches everything that he sees and rebounds everything that is in his area and beyond. So that's really been really good.